Okay, at this point we recognize that x squared minus 9x plus 9 is not factorable. So we've reached the limit of factoring. However, if we wanted to find our x-intercepts, we would have to go further and use the quadratic formula to break this down. But we're only trying to find the factors, so we'll stop here. Okay, let's take a look at this next one. We're dividing by x plus 3 as our factor. So again, for synthetic division, you put the opposite sign. And then we put our coefficients using 0 as placeholders. Our coefficients are 2, 6, negative 2, and negative 6. And we just go through and work this. So 2 we bring down, multiplied by negative 3 gives us negative 6. 6 minus 6 is 0. Negative 3 times 0 is 0. Bring that up. Add in the column negative 2 plus 0 is still negative 2. And negative 3 times negative 2 is a positive 6. When we add that in the column, we get 0. The fact that our remainder is 0 tells us that x plus 3 is a factor of the polynomial we started with. So the factors of our polynomial are x plus 3, and we write this one now as a polynomial, so 2x squared plus 0x minus 2. So let's write that a little bit neater. X plus 3 and 2x squared minus 2. If we wanted to find all the factors, we would then have to look at this and see, can we break this down and factor it any further? First thing you'll notice is there's 2's in both of those, so let's factor the 2 out. We have x squared minus 1, and hopefully you recognize that as the difference of 2 squares. So if we wanted to take it down to all the factors, we would go ahead and break that down. So my factors of that polynomial are x plus 3, we still have that 2, and then the difference of squares is x minus 1 times x plus 1. Those are our linear factors of our polynomial. Okay, this last problem, determine the linear factors of a x to the 4th term, x to the 4th polynomial. Okay, if one of the factors is this, so we're given that this is a factor. Once we do our synthetic division, we'll have to continue factoring what's left. So let's see, we've got x minus 2, so we put a positive 2 on the outside. And we fill in with our coefficients. So we've got a 1, 2, negative 20, 24, and 0, the constant, which is missing on this one. And using our synthetic division, bring down the 1, multiply it by the left, add those together, and we get 4 times 2 is 8. Negative 20 plus 8 is negative 12. 2 times negative 12 is a negative 24. We add these together and get 0. 2 times 0 is 0, of course. Add those and we get 0. Okay, so our remainder is 0, which we expected because we're told this is a factor. So down here on the bottom, I'm going to be putting a list of the factors. The first one is x minus 2. Our quotient here was x to the 3rd plus 4x squared minus 12x plus 0. And we want to find all the linear factors. So that means we can't have a cube left in here. So we've got to see, can we further factor this? First thing you're going to notice is there's an x in every term. So let's factor the x out. We would have x, and we're left with x squared plus 4x minus 12. Okay, can we factor this further? And again, hopefully you recognize that factors of this quadratic are x plus 6 and x minus 2, because those will multiply to give us the negative 12, but add to give us the 4x. So when we've broken this down further, our factors of that starting polynomial are x minus 2, x plus 6, and x minus 2. Notice that we have the same one listed twice. Typically we don't write it out like that. We will just list it once. So let's rewrite this. as x, so there's that one, times x plus 6 times x minus 2 squared. And if you were to graph this, you'll notice that when x equals positive 2, it doesn't actually cross your x-axis, but it bounces there. So it goes back in the same direction. And those are our 4 factors for that polynomial.